So, good day everyone. My name is Dayanara P. Romo and today I'm going to discuss about the chapter 63 of Noli Me Tangere, which is the farewell of the story. In the introduction, in this chapter, Maria Clara decides to leave San Diego and enter a convent, separating herself from Crisostomo Ibarra. Her decision is driven not by personal desire but by fear, pressure, and the need to preserve her honor under the expectation of society and church. Ibarra is deeply heartbroken, yet he understands the difficult position Maria Clara is in. Meanwhile, Capitan Tiago struggles as he loses control over his daughter and the unfolding events. The friars continue to exert strong influence, shaping the norms and decisions of individuals. Maria Clara departure symbolized the collapse of personal dreams and the triumph of societal and religious control, while the town remains mostly unaware of the deeper emotional tragedy, the consequence of oppression linger. To summarize the analysis of this study, the chapter highlights the painful reality of personal sacrifice imposed by social constraints. Maria Clara's choice is not fully hers. It is dictated by fear of disgrace and obedience to authority. It also emphasizes the limited role of women during the colonial period. Maria Clara represents how women were expected to submit to patriarchal and religious authority, even at the cost of their own happiness. And also another key idea is the dominance of the church over private life. The priors influence not only public affairs but also intimate decisions like marriage and vocation. And lastly, ultimately, the chapter centers on emotional tragedy, showing how love and hope are destroyed by rigid social structures. And the key takeaways of this story: personal happiness is often sacrificed for social acceptance and obedience. Authority, especially religious and colonial, can strongly control individual choices. And the oppression does not only affect societal outwardly but also deeply impacts emotions and relationships. So that would be all in the chapter 63. And now let's move on to the chapter 64 of Noli Me Tangere, which is the epilogue of the story. In the introduction, the epilogue reflects on the tragic outcomes of the novel and the enduring injustice of colonial society. Crisostomo Ibarra is forced into exile, symbolizing hope for future reform but also the failure of his immediate aspirations. Maria Clara enters the convent representing the oppression of women under both patriarchal and religious authority. Elias sacrifices his life for Ibarra, though his heroism goes largely unrecognized. Meanwhile, Caesar's tragic fate highlights the suffering of innocent individuals under an unjust system. Despite these events, the friars continue to hold power, though their moral corruption is evident. The townspeople carry on with their daily lives, largely unchanged. Through this, Rizal emphasizes the urgent need for awareness, reform, and social awakening. The novel ends with a mix of tragedy, hope, and a strong moral warming. In the analysis of the chapter 64, the epilogue serves as a powerful synthesis of the novel's central themes, tying together the personal tragedies of the characters with the broader condition of society. Rizal's ultimate calls for a social consciousness and reform, suggesting that while the present is bleak, the future can improve if people recognize injustice and act against it. And it exposed the injustice and moral decay of colonial rule, where those in power remain unchanged despite their corruption. The contrast between sacrifice Elias Ibarra and inaction society at large highlight a key issue: Change cannot happen without collective awareness and courage. And the takeaways of this chapter: meaning societal change is slow, but it begins with awareness. Sacrifice and courage are essential in the fight for reform. Ignorance and inaction allow injustice to continue. Individuals share responsibility in shaping a just society. And that would be all. Thank you and God bless.